going to do some scones today. It's one basic recipe, and from that I have made some blueberry and lemon, and there's only one cheese one left. The recipe is 500 grams of flour. It can be soda bread flour, it can be self-raising, and today I have a mix of 400 of self-raising with 100 grams of course wholemeal, and just to make it a little bit healthier. In the bowl I have the two flours with a wee bit of salt, and then it's a one bowl, one jug 5-minute scone recipe. In the jug I have 175 mils of milk, and I have 100 grams of caster sugar into it. You could reduce that a little bit if you wish, and then into it I'm going to crack an egg. So there's no rubbing in with these scones. So one jug, one bowl, very little washing up, and that's just how I like it. And in then we'll very carefully measure 4 tablespoons of oil. So we'll just 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll call that 4 tablespoons. You can measure it out. I've been making these scones a lot, so I just risk it in. So at this point then you could put in the blueberries and lemon zest. You could put in sultanas, cranberries and orange zest. You could leave the sugar out and put in some grated cheese, 100 grams of grated cheese. And today we're going to make raspberry and white chocolate. And we're going on the theme of Easter, with the raspberries representing the blood of Christ, and the white chocolate then the risen Christ, as these are to represent an Easter scone. In with the raspberries, in with the frozen raspberries. I've just literally lifted them out of my freezer because you need them to be absolutely rock solid, as with the blueberries. And whatever your mix is then, whatever your additional thing, just toss it through, and then in with the wet ingredients. So that's the buttermilk or the milk, whichever milk I have, milk, egg and oil there. So we're just going to mix them very quickly together, no rubbing in at all. And because these are made with vegetable oil, mine are actually, that's some olive oil there, you could argue that they're more healthy, but they also do tend to keep a little bit better than the ones where you've had to rub in a fat. So I'm just going to make sure they get all now into it with my hand. I'm trying to keep, as with all times when I'm baking, I always try to keep one hand clean and one hand in the mix, and we bring it all together and trying not to break up the raspberries too much. Now when I turn it out, I'm going to turn it out onto some flour, but in the case of the blueberry ones there, I roll them out I patted them out. I don't roll out at all, because that would involve cleaning a rolling pin. But on a more serious point, you don't need to roll them out, and it makes them, you're far better to have 12 deep scones, nice thick scones, and if you tend to take a rolling pin to them, you tend to make them too thin. So it's better to have 12 good scones instead of 15 pancakes. So we've got the raspberries and the white chocolate. The raspberries are tending to disintegrate a wee bit. And then this, I would also use coconut to roll out on as well instead of flour. And with the cheese ones have been rolled out on some grated cheese and some breadcrumb. So we're just going to pat them out. About the size of a dinner plate's good. And I've forgotten my scone cutter. I always say it's much easier to cook in your own kitchen. So this is one time you can dash to the drawer. Don't bring the camera down here, Andrew, because then I'd have to see that the kitchen isn't as clean as this little corner. And then straight onto the tray that I had prepared. And here we'll go. There's 12. So we'll put these straight onto the tray. Cut them out as close as you can so that you get 12. You usually get about 10, and they're ready for the oven. So I'm going to make sure that these are all good. And the oven's sitting at the other secret of good scones the oven must be on before you start to make these scones, because they're so quick that the oven has to be at 220, and the kettle needs to be boiled for the tea with the scones, because they are, I would say these scones are, you make them quicker than the kettle can boil. Now, the last wee bit then, I just always try to bring it together with as little, the less you work them, the quicker you make scones, the deeper you make them. Don't twist the, another tip is don't twist the cutter. And today it looks like we're on about 11 scones, and sometimes there's always a wee odd one at the end, and that's always the cook's treat. So there we go, and into a very, very hot 220 oven right at the top, and that's the secret of good scones. Now, to finish off the Easter scones with the, I was thinking about how I could make a cross on them, and to do that I'm just going to demonstrate with these scones here, and I have some white chocolate melted down in the microwave, and just ordinary cooking chocolate. Rather than having to start with making piping bags, you can have some fun with a plastic bag. If you just put the plastic bag over into the jug, and you have the corner of the plastic bag right down into that corner, and then twist it round so that the chocolate doesn't come up the bag. And then if we have a pair of scissors, who took my scissors? This is good fun. The scissors aren't in their usual place. Oh, it's always easiest to cook at home. Where did the scissors go? Oh, that. Down with the raspberries. So we'll just trim off that. There's a bit of plastic there that's going to be getting my road, so I'm going to trim that off. And dry my hands would be a good idea so that it can work. And then, maybe while you're over the bowl then, and you can see very clearly what you're doing, trim off the top of the bag. There's nothing like somebody videoing you to give you a shaky hand. And on your tray then just keep the going one way, the chocolate, and then we're coming across for our white, oh, bit of a bend on that one, and that's it. So that's your hot cross. These are lemon and blueberry, but the ones that we have in the oven are raspberry for the blood of Christ, and the white chocolate to remind us of the risen Christ. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy making scones and trying all the different varieties. Thank you.